Grand Rising on December 5th. Yada, yada, yada. Now, I have been researching because I was very interested about these golden circles and shit that I have been flinging out, right? And asking questions about. And I got a little bit of guidance that, a lot of this shit is accurate, which I already knew and I already know. And that, pretty much a Maharaja current, like that, the 12G shield, is a blend of 11th and 12th dimensional energy that should be like a silver color cleansed in a pale, like liquid diamond light. Now, we have, and I've heard Fabian, and I've heard people talk about the chakra that is like 6 inches underneath our feet that we don't realize is there. We don't realize, Oyster, don't mess with the blinds. Oyster, don't mess with the blinds. It's kind of like if you're playing a board game with little cardboard cutout pieces of people, and to make them stand, you gotta set them in like a little placard to stand them up. Well, that's pretty much what's going on underneath our feet. Now, it's everybody's information. Like, I got a little bit of feedback before about how, maybe it's not great that I'm, pointing to all of the pertinent people that I was able to find quickly, talking about the important things, because a lot of the information is distorted. And that's what I preface everything with is good fucking luck out there, because, I might not know much, but I know that all of these people are talking about important shit, but there are distortions within everything I've looked at personally. But if normal people do not start looking at these things and go off and start judging people's information and using discernment as an individual and personally, they are never going to be able to see the world for what it really is. And they are not going to be able to judge the state of how serious this situation is here on planet Earth. And therefore, I believe they are never going to be able to judge themselves and Christ themselves. So I'm doing the best I can with, guiding people along the pertinent information and throwing out disclaimers that, if there's anybody else above these people, I can't fucking see them. Like, I like Mark Passio. Like, I think Mark Passio, all of this kinds of shit, and like Mark Passio and stuff, like, if there's anybody anybody likes out there more than Mark Passio and shit, like, throw him on my radar kind of situation. And I was definitely told by somebody I trust that there is a shitload of truth in this information that I have already, I pretty much gobbled this up first. And was on my merry way to go fucking find out, what else do I have to look at and decide what's real or not real here. And the fact that I knew nothing before my awakening, and as soon as I laid my eyes on this fucking time matrix, I'm going, holy shit, that's pretty much a really good start. That's kind of what it looks like, because I have been flung through so many densities. I know it. It was so fucking crazy what I went through. And I'm gonna go back to here, because if normal people cannot comprehend this time matrix diagram and information as what we are living in, this is going to be a pretty big problem. And just so you know, where I'm coming from is I knew nothing, and then this was my starting point. So then I'm going, holy fuck. Now what the fuck do I do? Like, I don't even know how to go about finding the pieces, the missing pieces, from knowing nothing to going to this, to trying to fill in all of the middle and what in the fuck happened here type shit. And I know about how, the gold flame, that's where most of the fallen angels are from, the fallen seraphi, reptilians, the draconians, the indigo 3 souls who are not fallen. Indigo 3s are the real MVPs running around here. And every single day, they're offing themselves because they don't even know what's going on. They've been left to languish on the front lines of mental health. And it's kind of hard to not be in a panic mode for me personally, having to understand the entire Indigo 3 concept and want to help. It's fucking awful. And if you can't imagine, if you're not here spiritually awake yet, and if you can't imagine that this is what the news doesn't want you to talk about, is the reality of our reality, it's really bad. It's really, 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 you've missed so much. Now, I am going to put this vato on here real quick to just highlight what it looks like and where all of these entities are coming from, at least. There are distortions, though, in everything. So this looks pretty fucking legit. It looks pretty close. And the devil in the details is shit that's a little deeper in. A lot deeper into this kind of information. And I'd like to preface it to, any Christos Avatar people who are still following my YouTube channel, that, I might have called them out for, speaking to me and refusing to speak to me, and then going, all L names are bad. And I ripped him a new ass for it, but I paid for this. I've paid for this time matrix, diagram, paid the fee for it, and have donated to him. So, fuck out of my face if anybody has a problem with me pulling this up, and yeah, I guess kind of giving him a little bit of free advertising again, I guess. But this is kind of how big and bad the situation looks, guys.
I want to make sure that we're okay. I'm waiting for it. Okay, it changed. Alright, so this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, our multiverse, because it has more than one universe. And each universe is a separate density. This is the important concept to realize. There's 5 density levels inside the 15-dimensional time matrix, which is a spheres within spheres reality fields. God is spherical. That's why there's these reverse concepts of flat Earth, which is total nonsense. Reverse consciousness. No, the Earth is not flat. It's all round. And understand.
All I'm saying is, I have researched unbiasedly this flat Earth concept. Flat earthers are not saying the world is a flat square. Flat earthers are saying that it is a flat circle. Just saying.
And it's a whole bunch of spaces like this. This is spheres within spheres, or eggs within eggs. This is the consciousness all together as God. Just realize it's all a field, a holographic field. It's called the hologram of matter because it's made of 5 levels of matter. So the higher you are, the less of a body you have, the less matter. And you look across, you'll see it's different levels of matter. Our scientists are only teaching you one level of reality and matter, the carbon matter. That's all they see. No, there's more. And you can see at this macro view that there's something called the particle universe, the antiparticle. And then you got something right here called the phantom, which is another system, but some of our consciousness is fallen. So this starts at the top, not the bottom. Consciousness starts way up here in the cosmic levels. Like you have God, which is beyond these matrices. It's beyond the cosmos. It's beyond, see, these reality fields are within a universe, a 15-dimensional time matrix. And this is just one of many time matrix. But this is our time matrix starting way up here. You start at the top and go down, 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 down. Down in physical matter, down in energy, down in consciousness. God is downstepping itself, starting here. Then God downsteps itself.
God is an energy field that is projecting itself and creating everything in existence, including us. And because we are stuck down at the bottom rung, we are our hell selves right now. We are stuck in hell for all intensive purposes. And until you acknowledge the fact that you are of God highest, having to balance the reality and understand the reality that because you are God, a piece of God's source, down here stuck in hell, you are the devil you fear outside of here. And when you can acknowledge that and understand that, you'd really, 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 I'd like to see anybody else that I know who is a normal person not be out here motherfucking the entire Abrahamic branch for this shit. Let alone if I'm not crazy being in my position where I had to wake up thinking, still, with a small mind of Christian programming, and I don't know, like, I know God's a good thing because it is. But my mind was blown, but I didn't know enough yet when I woke up, and I'm waking up going, okay, well, God threw his Elijah card, so this is kind of alarming to me, and I'm fucking thinking that Elijah is a good guy, and like, are you fucking kidding me? The shit, the misery and the sorrow that I have had to process so quickly, and the disappointment of realizing that not only was Elijah fallen and Enoch is fallen, oh, the God that I used to think was loving actually just fucking hates everybody. And that's not really God. God is all of this. But fucking sick. This has made me fucking sick. And the only thing I can do is tell the truth as I learn it and try to help put this shithole of a density back together. Me as one woman stuck on United States property. I'm fucking trying. This shit sucks.
Self again, and then this downsteps itself, and then this downsteps itself. And you got this going on in the time matrix. This downsteps, these downstep, and it keeps going down. And notice you at the bottom are the final downstep. I mean, not exactly the bottom, but we're pretty low, right? We got plants below us, animals, plants, elementals, and then you got subatomic particles below that. But realize this is all part of you too. You're part of subatomic consciousness. You got some of that. You got some consciousness as a plant, as an animal, but remember it started at the top. Each step is a down step, a lesser version of itself, a lesser version of itself, a lesser. You got to reverse your concept a little. You didn't come from apes. That would be a de-evolution of you. That's a de-evolution, not an evolution of you, or not where you evolved from. It's the opposite direction. They taught you the opposite. Now you're thinking that you came from pond scum or something lowly, but it's the opposite. You're a distortion of an astral being, which is a soul. Your soul projects you. It's consciousness. It's a collective, a plural. You are a plural. You are a soul that's been projected down into density 1. And this is easier to understand on a bigger scale. Density 1 and density 2.
Now these freaking pictures of flat versus vertical portals, fucking fascinating. This guy does have a lot of good information, and I'm going to check more into Lisa Renee. I haven't given her much thought because I'm looking at this all going, well, I don't even trust, doing Maharic Shield shit because I'm not sure what's real and what's not, but this looks like something to fucking look at. And then, with Lisa Renee, I'm like, well, clearly Ashiana Dean's shit is somehow distorted. And if Lisa Renee is just kind of a different type of Ashiana Dean, well, I know she's there if I ever want to look at her information, but I'm not giving that much thought right now. That's not my main concern. My main concern is to mass grab what in the fuck is happening. But it's a learning process. You have to learn. And until I got a couple of, buddies willing to, talk to me and who have already been through all of this shit, who absolutely acknowledge that there are distortions. However, certain parts are very real, like Maharic shields and the Maharata current and all of this shit. It is a good ballpark. And if there's anybody out there who has seen this shit and is in my boat of, you've seen this, but you have not been trying to do like Maharic shield shit and tap into those energies and stuff because you are scared. I'm going to, it's kind of been thumbs up to me, and it's one of those, what the fuck do I have to lose at this point? I'd rather, start actively trying than continue to maybe throw up baby shields or baby portals and shit in self-defense, because I can do these things and have accidentally, like I said, is a default defense system. And maybe I'll give it all a fucking go and see how it fucking goes.
Two right here. So inside of density 2 is density 1. Just notice that effect. This is higher density, higher matter form, higher consciousness. And if you guys remember, the 6th dimension is where the angels exist. That's angelic level, way above your level, right? 3 levels above you. Hello, 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 6th dimension. That is your third eye, the indigo ray. This is your throat.
So it's kind of like when you get your third eye open, that is like the ability to access the angelic realms.
The macrocosm is dimension, the microcosm is your chakra at your throat. And then you have the heart chakra. And these are the higher chakras, man. These are the ET chakras. When most humans are not psychic because they don't have those strands activated yet. Most humans...
This is why most fast food restaurants and shit are all red, orange, yellow color scheme. They are playing us. And it's a big colors game, really. And they keep us fat and doped up on heavy medications, on heavy poisonous foods. And with porn, this is why porn is free and why porn is so dangerous. And I used to watch me some fucking porn. I'm not going to be one of those females that lie about that shit. There is a huge female population out here holding up as a pillar, holding up porn, watching lesbian porn, questioning their sexuality and shit, and watching all kinds of whatever in the hell porns they're into, because this is the lower 3 chakras, and these fucking demonic entities and shit will latch onto our solar plexus and latch onto our root and our sacral, chakras, and keep us trapped. And as soon as you start working on your heart chakra, like I said before, this is why they make the color for bipolar awareness green, because when you start working on your heart chakra, you start turning your heart and your mind to each other, and it's like a fight, because there is heart inside of your heart, there is brain matter. And it's like if you follow your gut with 51%, the best for humanity. It's kind of like, what do you follow? Your mind, your heart, or your gut? From my experience, you have to follow your gut first, gut instinct. Because those are the only 3 chakras that you really have going for you. So of those 3, you gotta follow your gut until you get yourself to the point where you start working on your heart chakra. And then it feels like your heart and your mind turn in at each other to try to pop the rest of your chakras open, I feel like. And then it is a battle between your heart and your mind. And until your heart chakra opens and you beat the shit out of your mind, you cannot trust your mind at all. Trusting your brain is the last thing I would recommend, because it is so fucking contaminated and you don't realize it. And once your heart beats the shit out of your mind through shadow work, can you unlock your mind and even begin to imagine the things that you have been robbed of in your spiritual sleepiness, in your normal mentality, guys? It is infuriating. Every fucking minute you spent before your awakening, you want to sue for, because you realize you've been mentally raped, robbed, cheated, brainwashed your entire life. It's bad. This video is getting a little bit long. I'm over it. But this time matrix is a good tool, in my opinion. Toodles.